Good evening, Southeast Asia. You are still watching the Garena Premier League Spring 2017, and we're moving on to our 6th and final game of the group stages here in Day 2. And of course, we will be your shoutcasters for this game. I am Atlas, and with me is Neep, and I haven't casted with you for a while. It's going to be really fun casting with you again.
It's been a while, man. I can't even recall when was the last time.
That was like last year.
All right.
Like over, like almost a year ago. But yeah, looking at the standings right now. Look at the schedule and the standings. Of course, Mineski is for 2. Kuala Lumpur Hunters versus FTS will be our 6th game for today. KLH is at 3-2, while FTS is at 2-3. But note that even if Kuala Lumpur Hunters does get this win and tie for 4-2, Mineski wins the head-to-head because they won both games against Kuala Lumpur Hunters in the group stages.
Yeah.
So that means Mineski is still guaranteed that first seed. But if FTS wins this game, it's going to force a tiebreaker between the team from Indonesia and the team from Malaysia.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be really interesting. I think both teams are going to be giving their all this game right now. This is what matters. This is what counts.
Yeah, this is really what makes or breaks the getting out of group stages for both of these teams. And really, throughout the entire group stages, FTS has performed far better than we expected.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I placed them like a 3rd.
I placed them at the bottom.
Yeah, near the bottom. I placed Singapore at the bottom. But really, their performance is actually much closer to Kuala Lumpur Hunters and Mineski, as we've seen.
But I mean, if we take a look at the previous game, the last time Kuala Lumpur Hunters and FTS met, it was a very one-sided affair. It was actually the very first game of the GPL, I believe, or the second game, something along those lines, where Kuala Lumpur Hunters had an extremely dominant game. It was R-Hedge who was able to snowball off of the Beyond, and same thing in the jungle lane. So the jungle and mid lane just won extremely hard, and they were able to snowball off that. But let's see if that's going to be the case again as we are heading into the pick and ban.
I mean, they have had a lot of time to prepare for this. If they won and they were at the first half of the games, Kuala Lumpur Hunters versus FTS, and FTS has had a lot of time to prepare and observe how Kuala Lumpur Hunters plays.
Yeah,
so
and
we're
right
see
off the
bans
bat,
right now.
The cannon ban onto Chopper. Chopper has had a lot of good cannon games over this tournament so far, so respecting that and just taking that away. Let's see what FTS does decide to ban. They might ban out Caspiel. They might ban the Renekton from Shiro. Shiro's had
I think Caspiel is always going to be the first ban at most teams facing. It's going to be actually Shiro.
Banning out Shiro's Rumble.
Yeah, it's usually you would see the Renekton ban against Shiro, but the Rumble is also very oppressive. Maybe FTS does not want to risk anything when it comes to these team fights and especially these objectives.
And what's interesting is that they did ban away the Syndra, so we have seen Kuala Lumpur Hunters pick the Syndra themselves for R-Hedge. So what this is implying is that Kuala Lumpur Hunters are planning to first pick something else. So let's see what it's going to be. They might decide to first pick a possible jungle pickup and prioritize Caspiel in the jungle.
Yeah, that would be expected coming from Kuala Lumpur Hunters. And FTS actually banning out in not Caspiel, but Shiro, really fearing that top lane matchup against Square against Shiro. Seems like they have a lot more confidence in Myokon versus Caspiel.
And let's see what is going to be the final ban for Kuala Lumpur Hunters, as there are a couple picks that the FTS squad could decide to go for. We have seen a lot of jungle priority from both of these teams, and it will be the Malzahar ban, so just a fairly standard ban.
Yeah, very standard bans. Just the cannon against Chopper would be the most notable one from Kuala Lumpur Hunters. Let's see how FTS picks their last ban for the first rotation.
Are they going to ban out Lee Sin, Gragas, Graves? A couple options here that they could take away, and
so
it
that's
will be the Rengar, actually.
Yeah, Rengar's been like, I think, 100% pick ban so far in GPL. Around that statistic, it seems like Shiro might be picking the Fiora or the Irelia.
I doubt it. I feel like they might go for the jungle first pick. That seems like the most reasonable champion to prioritize. And it's going to be Lulu. So Lulu, again, that's a good one as well.
Taking it away, after banning out the Malzahar, you pick the Lulu. That makes your bot lane pretty safe, pretty standard and strong. We're going to see how FTS responds to this with their own picks.
Yeah, a lot of priority picks the Karma, so they will just take away the Karma. So most likely going to be the support for Roffins. And I wouldn't be surprised if they take their jungler as well in this rotation, but instead hovering over, so still deciding what support they want to take, Karma or Zyra.
Seems like
could
it will
work
be
out
the Zyra.
Well. Yeah,
Zyra, lots of damage in lane. Being able to just put that out, probably going to go with that Ignite for kill pressure. Myokon might be taking that Graves away from Caspiel.
Yeah, so that does leave a couple options for Caspiel. He does have his Lee Sin available. He does have his Gragas available. Caspiel has been known to play a lot of Gragas, but he could also play something else. I mean, Elise is open, and they're hovering over the Evelyn.
Maybe he's just teasing us.
I don't think they'd lock that in.
Yeah,
well, who knows? Like, I mean, it's the very last game. You might want to throw out all your secret strats. Maybe this is one of their like aces up their sleeve. It is like secret card, trap card.
Yeah, you've activated my trap card, the invisible Evelyn here. That might be it. They're hovering off it for a long time, but seems like it will just be the Lee Sin.
Pretty safe, pretty strong jungler right now, and Caspiel has shown his proficiency on this champion.
So much pressure in the early game, and I can see that. I can see Caspiel just rotating around very aggressively, counter jungling, and then transition the counter jungle into a gank or vice versa. It's just something that I'm expecting from Caspiel, to push the limits of his jungle clear, his time, all of his resources.
And we do see that both teams are opting to pick up their 80 carries as their final picks. So Caitlyn locked in. Yeah, very suppressive bottom lane right there.
Lots of poke and damage, but of course we did see the Varus Zyra versus Lulu Caitlyn matchup earlier today. We're gonna see how this one plays out. So that's gonna be both bot lanes and the junglers for Kuala Lumpur Hunters, and Fortius locked in for the first rotation of picks.
Yeah, let's see what they're gonna ban out. They actually banned out the Fiora immediately from Fortius' side.
They were teasing it a little bit earlier.
Kuala Lumpur Hunters, they could decide to ban out a lot of the mid laners from Fortius, or they could go for the top lane bans as well.
I think they might go for the mid lane bans, because banning out Beyond, you're also hurting Myokon.
Yeah.
Because the way they play is that Beyond and Myokon, see, it's going to be the LeBlanc ban against Beyond. Really powerful here.
I feel like Orianna is going to be one of the more contested picks coming into the next drafting phase, where both teams are going to be either looking to pick that up for themselves, as that would really complement the rest of the
There's so much utility from that mid lane that they can get. We're going to see if they ban it out or try to pick it in the side of Kuala Lumpur Hunters. It's going to be the Kled ban against Shiro.
Yeah, so they're really investing a lot of resources into banning out Shiro. We know Square hasn't really had the best time in the top lane, often falling behind in almost every single matchup so far. So he doesn't want to be in a position where Shiro can just snowball off of that.
It really affects the rest of the game as well.
For sure.
Because if you're more confident in your jungler, but less confident in like Square being able to match up against Caspiel's pressure, Shiro's power, then might as well just try to ban out Shiro, and then Myokon can just, and even though Myokon might have a harder time because of Caspiel having his free pick, you'll still have that power in the top lane to just survive through pressure with a teleport.
And it looks like they did ban the Ahri as well, so it will be the Shen top lane most likely, so a very safe champion for Square to just farm up on and still apply that pressure all around the map.
Just being able to move around the map with Stand United plus his own teleport is going to be very helpful for Fortius to make these cross-map plays for the mid lane.
And it's going to be interesting. I feel like Kuala Lumpur Hunters are going to pick up their top laner right now. They do have a couple options. They could go for something safe, like a Nautilus, but we have only seen Shiro on this Rumble and Renekton so far, and the Jarvan locked in, and Jarvan top. That's not something you see that often at all.
It's really not something you see often unless you play a lot with Vulcan, but on one of our casters. But yeah, Jarvan, not something very common. Might be some ace up Shiro's sleeve, because it has a lot of potential. Just a lot of terrain manipulation if they lock in this Talia.
Yeah, you've got that Jarvan.
You got the Cataclysm plus the Weaver's Wall. You can just split apart Fortius if they get a good timing with those ultimates.
And it looks like that's indeed going to be the case. And going back to this Jarvan pick, it's going to be really interesting, but I do feel like it does complement Shiro's playstyle a lot. He has been the type to just really just get into the face of that enemy team.
You can't pick Renekton, you can't pick Rumble, you can't pick Kled, Fiora. Just go for the Jarvan and then dive in. And imagine all that terrain, all Fortius trapped within those walls, and then CO4 just free hitting.
Yeah.
That's going to be painful. We're going to see how they respond to this. It's going to be the Cassiopeia lock-in for Fortius.
Yeah, so a pretty good mid lane pickup overall, just rounding off the team composition coming in for Fortius. So pretty nice team composition. Nothing too noticeable to point out in regards to drafting errors, but I'm really curious to see how this Jarvan is going to work out. Will he be able to lane properly against this Shen?
Yeah, the thing is, if you jump in as a Jarvan, of course you have your armor reduction. You can trade a little bit with your passive as well. You have a shield to protect you. But in an extended trade, Square, I think, would have the upper hand, being able to block out basic attacks. Yeah, has his own form of damage as well. He's going to taunt you to help out Myokon if he wants to gank.
But I mean, you do have a lot of opportunities with this Lulu as well. The Jarvan initiate into the Lulu ultimate can do a bit of work. That's a lot of CC, a lot of knockups for sure.
And that's just going to be a happy CO4 just free hitting everyone with that sniper rifle on that Caitlyn. So we're going to see us load into the game in a few minutes. Talking about the compositions right now, though, no real errors as you've said. But yeah, looking at both compositions on paper, what do you think?
Well, I feel like the team fighting advantage it's going to be interesting to see who has a better team fight, but I kind of want to lean towards the 40th side. They do have a pretty solid 1-4 split push team composition. They have that Zyra Varus, I believe, yeah, so they do have the Zyra Varus. Lots of really good team fighting right there, alongside with the Cassiopeia and the Graves. So I definitely feel like team fight wise, come late game, you might be leaning towards the 40th side as the Lee Sin starts to scale off. Jarvan as well, to an extent, scales off a bit, as it depends on how he builds. If you build full damage, then you're extremely squishy. You may be able to delete someone, but at the same time,
you're going to fall off as well, same as Lee Sin. So it's really going all about the. I mean, I like the novelty of Kuala Lumpur Hunters composition.
Then again, they do have that Caitlyn. Caitlyn can be a pretty disgusting champion in the late game, and they have a lot of tools to just deal it out.
And we are loaded onto Summoner's Rift for our 6th and maybe final game for day 2 of the Garena Premier League Spring 2017 between Kuala Lumpur Hunters from Malaysia versus 40s from Indonesia. We're going to see the level 1 of our players here. Seems like Caspiel always does that. Go in straight to a jungle entrance, try to get a sonic wave on someone.
Definitely likes to contest the jungler right now. It looks like we will be seeing the Raptor start coming in from the Graves. So let's see how this is going to work out. And it's just Caspiel. He's just constantly tossing out these sonic waves. None of them are connecting, of course, and they're just spamming their emotes.
Just going to get that knockout Lee Sin around, and maybe it's his lucky charm for this game here, because they do want to get into that knockout stage and to the semifinals. We are going to see. It seems like Chopper. That's actually a lot of damage, and that's not enough time to recall back.
Minions do spawn. Yeah, they won't be able to recall, so CO4 going to lane with a bit of his health gone, and it won't be a Raptor start actually. It's going to be the red start coming in from Myokon.
Does this
Meanwhile,
change
any of the starting in the blue side?
Does this change any of the paths that Myokon might take, not opting for that Raptor?
Well, it kind of forces you into the going towards that bottom side. You will end up finishing in that bottom side, whereas the Raptors, you have a lot more diversity where you can possibly go bottom first. You're not necessarily stuck taking the red buff, so it's gonna be interesting to see. But based on how Myokon plays, he likes to invade quite a bit, so we might be seeing a lot of invades coming in from both sides actually, as Caspiel also very aggressive early game.
Always like stealing resources from the other jungler. There's quite a similarity between the
and they are mirroring their pathing right now, so they will meet up roughly in that bottom side, possibly look to contest the Krugs together, and we do see RHedge getting down extremely low from that initial trade level 2.
Has to chug a lot of the one of these potions. And really, the similarity of playstyle between RHedge and Beyond together with Caspiel and Myokon. The mid laner always tries to push and apply a lot of pressure, and then the jungler can just apply his own pressure in other parts of the map.
It looks like Caspiel is clearing a lot more faster than Myokon. He is looking to invade this blue buff. Meanwhile, we do see Myokon just starting that blue buff right now, so we do see Caspiel does have the information that
just lays down that
the blue buff is up, and it looks like he's looking to invade this.
He's still looking for it. That is going to be okay. Just straight up going for Myokon here. This might actually goes to Myokon. And Myokon wants to fight. He does have that red buff to slow him down, but RHedge zoning away Beyond. And that is going to be the bot lane. Actually, the structure of the bot lane favors Kuala Lumpur Hunters for that. And Beyond might be in a little bit of trouble. Okay, not a lot. Just gonna be Beyond in dangerous health and mana.
Connect, and I'd say it's still in favor of Kuala Lumpur Hunters, as it was Caspiel applying that pressure onto the jungler of Fortius.
So it's just going to be both junglers. It seems like nothing's happening really, but really it's the calculations of these junglers where they want to go. Is going to be Myokon facing up against Caspiel. Arhedge will be the first to arrive. Beyond also there for the assist. Has to burn his flash because Shiro is right there.
Yeah.
Man,
and
he
that was
all
a
the way
pretty
down
long
here.
rotation by Shiro right there. I did not see him coming whatsoever. And with that, looks like Shiro really missed out too much from that roam onto the mid lane.
Yeah, he actually is behind quite a bit in CS. That's around a wave and a half, with Square still pushing it onto Shiro's side.
Yeah, and with this wave though, he should be fairly even. He is down quite a bit, so it looks like the Shen is getting the best of him in this top lane matchup. Let's see if he will start to be a bit more useful come level 6 once he has that ultimate.
Yeah, once he has that Cataclysm, it's going to be very explosive when he makes a teleport play. Really interested in seeing what's up next once they reach their spikes. But right now, it's going to be a little bit of trading. It's going to be CO4 taking a lot of damage. The Thunderlords from Roffins is going to chunk him down quite a bit. Has to chug that potion. And the Blight stacks being popped also adds quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, and that was the heal popped by CO4, now already taken down to half HP. So with that, it's Fortius taking that early game advantage in this bottom lane.
Very aggressive, and if they still want to, the heal is gone. They have a lot of kill potential with that ignite on Roffins, because they've been doing a lot of it. Just one snare from Roffins might be enough to take out CO4, because the heal is gone. The exhaust is still up, but might be our junglers meeting in the river.
So far, no first bloods whatsoever, as both of these junglers have been trying their luck, but no luck so far.
No cigar just yet for Myokon. Caspiel still has not seen any opportunities for really high impact plays.
Yeah.
So now it's just them really cerebral, trying to find where the other is pathing, stealing away their resources. Roffins always looking for something to poke. He really likes these aggressive supports. Compared to tanky ones.
A lot of pressure. He looks a lot more comfortable on this champion compared to the top Genji. Yeah, I'm expecting something big as the Lee Sin is here as well.
Cut off Roffins, but he does have that flash. This is going to be a 4-man here in the bot lane. Not a lot to be gained after that.
Yeah, but I mean, that was two flashes indeed burned from this bottom side.
Bipolar and CO4 still have their own flashes.
Yeah. And it does allow CO4 to recall now after getting extremely low. We'll probably be looking for the Blade of the Rune King build.
He does have that longsword start, so probably going to go to Bilgewater's Cutlass with 58 CS. Should be able to get that after the recall. Yep. That's going to be the Bilgewater Cutlass to help him.
And looking in the top lane, we do see that it will be the Tiamat build coming in from Jarvan, so opting to possibly go for the Ravenous Hydra or the Titanic.
So it's actually a versatile item here to push in square towards his turret.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
If he wants to go tanking, go for Titanic.
Yeah, I actually really like this as it puts a lot of pressure on the top lane. It makes Square forced to deal with the wave if he wants to go for an ultimate gank. So I like this play by Shiro. Pretty smart with the itemization.
And he's actually matched the CS of Square here after laning for quite a while. That's a lot of damage from the threaded volley of Arhedge.
Yeah, I mean, Arhedge doing a pretty good job so far. The ultimate wasn't successful in picking up a kill, but he was able to burn some flashes. And Bipolar does need to be careful, but Caspiel is here to help out.
Oh, I like how the entirety of Team Kuala Lumpur Hunters can just make these aggressive plays, having trust in the response from their other laners.
Yeah.
Being able to put down that deep vision is important for Caspiel to make all of these aggressive plays. That's going to be Shiro in a little bit of trouble. There is no Caspiel to help him here. That's the Dragon Strike plus the Damascene standard out.
They didn't have to burn any summoners from there. But they do need to be careful now. Shiro can't really respond to the teleports coming in from Square. Does have the Stand United and teleport as well.
That's going to be 3 converging onto his position. Shiro does have his ultimate, saving a little bit. That's going to be the Stand United on him. That's going to be 3 versus 2. There is no Beyond to help here. It's going to be the Cataclysm. You just get a lot of bursts of thread volley. Doesn't finish off Square. That's going to be Caspiel. Too far away for the resonating strike, but gets a first blood. Arhedge gets the first blood, also gets a double kill against Myokon, and now Square on the run. Doesn't seem like he will die. No, he will not.
Yeah, it looks like the damage just wasn't there coming in from Fortius, as well as the Cassiopeia being a bit too late to the fight there. So 3v2 for the majority of the fight. And pretty nice Cataclysm coming in from Shiro, just being able to let R-Hedge deal as much damage as possible.
Good restraint as well to wait for an opportunity to maximize the damage that his Cataclysm and the lockdown that his Cataclysm can bring up, and beyond being so late to that fight really hurts. It's really bad when his snakes can't.
And I mean, with that, that's 2-0 to Leah. R-Hedge now has a lot of gold. Let's take a look at exactly what happened. We did see actually a pretty nice kick as well coming in from Caspiel. So if we take a look at the map, Cassiopeia was actually zoned out by Talia, so he had a really awkward approach coming into this, and we do see that pretty good kick coming up right there. Yeah, so that allows R-Hedge to just do a lot of damage, even flashing for that.
Gaze missed as well.
Yeah.
And I like how Shiro, instead of continuing the brawl, he knows that Beyond was coming. So he backed off a little bit in his own Cataclysm while still keeping Square within that circle.
And he was even able to get the knock-up up with the flag plus the Dragon Lance right there.
Getting that was really good for him for that fight, giving 2 kills early for Kuala Lumpur Hunters. Quite a bit of map pressure. So it's going to be Caspiel opting for the flash kick onto Chopper. So Chopper's going to be surely dead, especially with R-Hedge riding the Weaver's wall. It's going to be pressure here in the bot lane. Seems like they've just transitioned this into maybe a Dragon. No, just going to go back to their respective territories.
Looks like they don't want to commit too many resources onto this Air Drake right now.
Just a Cloud Drake, not super impactful for the compositions that both of these teams have.
It would help a bit as you do have a lot of mobility coming in with
they really like roaming.
Yeah, but it's not a priority.
Yeah, it's not a priority.
But it looks like they are starting it off, so they did determine that it was an appropriate time to take this Dragon. And this Dragon
cannot contest this.
Yeah, pretty free right there.
It's going to be Caspiel taking this. There's going to be a fight here. R-Hedge does burn the cleanse, but so much DPS coming from Beyond. The poison is not enough to finish him off. Caspiel looking for it. The Sonic Wave misses. Now he's under fire of Myokon. Oh, okay. So the collateral damage actually takes out R-Hedge, and the poison takes out Caspiel there. Bipolar in a bit of duress. That's double kill for Beyond.
Yeah, and it's Beyond on fire right now. He managed to pick up 2 kills, so very aggressive, very confident play coming in from Beyond despite the initial fight not really going in Fortius' favor. They are still putting up a fight and reset the game a bit.
After that, I don't think that Cloud Drake was worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
Giving away 3 kills, and especially 2 of those going to Beyond and the other to Myokon.
So that started with a pretty interesting rotation coming from R-Hedge. He did get picked off from the rest of the team. Beyond able to capitalize on that, and it was just KLH committing too many resources trying to keep them alive, and they got punished really hard for it.
So that's just going to be a good rotation from Fortius to go get in there aggressive.
Yeah.
Both of these teams are so aggressive. It's so exciting to see their games, because in the previous game that they had in day 1, it was Fortius always being on the defensive.
Yeah, it was just Kuala Lumpur Hunters just walking all over this Fortius
so they were not in their comfort zone. Now that Fortius is pretty confident after gaining information and preparing, they are able to match the aggressiveness that Kuala Lumpur Hunters is known for.
Yeah, Beyond definitely stepping up, showing why he was the MVP of this squad, and he's been around for a while.
There is no ward here to spot out Caspiel. Oh man, instantly kicks him, but he messed up.
Regardless, that was a flash burn by Chopper, so a small victory in that regard.
That might even get this turret if they push it.
Weaver wall is up as well, but it has been pinged out by the Fortius squad, so they do know what's coming.
This is going to be their first turret, though.
Yeah.
If they are unable to push them away. Oh, look at that flash Cataclysm from Shiro. There's going to be a lot of DPS from the threaded volley, but Myokon also dealing lots of damage. Square being the front line here. That's going to be them surrounded. Shiro is stuck in the Dragon Pit while R-Hedge has to keep running away. The Blast Cone actually saves him. Now, FTS is the one who is caught off guard. There's going to be a lot of bursts coming from Caspiel and Shiro. CO4 keeps re-hitting with that sniper rifle. Bipolar in a little bit of a trouble. CO4 has to net away. It's going to be 1-4-2 in favor of Kuala Lumpur Hunters.
You can tell that Shiro's very confident onto this Jarvan. He knew exactly what he needed to do, how much damage he needed to do, as that fight was looking pretty bad for Kuala Lumpur Hunters, but Shiro managing to turn it around with that nice play right
chasing
there.
Too much on that
Get that pick onto Trooper. He stays around just enough to knowing he'll survive, and Caspiel, very good response, surviving the burst coming in from Meowcon and picking up the kill onto Cassiopeia as well.
Yeah, and as soon as they started chasing RH too much into the blue camp, they turned, and the burst coming from their spells, their abilities was just way too much for the initial.
That was looking extremely sketchy, as the KLH team was initially split up extremely far.
Yeah, they were split apart in 3 parts, so that was very dangerous for KLH. But of course, luckily for RH, the wall surfer, the rock surfer, gives him a little bit of movement speed around walls, plus that blast cone. It's going to be Rawfins and a little bit of trouble. He's a squishy support, but that's just going to chunk him down to half health. Yeah,
and they did burn the Caitlyn ace in the hole there, so we won't have that ultimate available.
For any executions that they need to do, it's going to be, none of the junglers are near this side.
And it looks like it's actually Chopper who has fallen behind. CO4 has picked up the Blade of the Rune King, so a bit of an advantage there. Let's see if they're able to capitalize on anything.
So far, though, a lot of pinks coming to the bot lane. That is a very dangerous spot now. Caspiel looking for a gank onto Beyond. That's going to be the Petrifying Gaze hitting. The Sonic Strike still there, the Sonic Wave, plus the Resonating Strike.
And RH actually flashed for that kill, so he won't have that available. The wall is still there, so actually the Weaver wall's still on cooldown, and it's
Meowcon taking a lot of damage from the threaded volley. Has to quick draw into the Dragon Pit and out of the fight. That's going to be Shiro diving square, canceling a lot of basic attacks with that protection from his sword. So it's going to be a lot of health.
Yeah, Shiro actually becoming the dominator in this top lane. He's up 20 CS right now, and initially he was looking pretty behind. He was losing these
because
trades.
of his initial roam. Now he's actually ahead in terms of CS and being able to just pressure square, forcing him to actually get this Tiamat with the Joram's Fist for the Titanic Hydra.
Yeah, looks like he is actually going to be leaving the Tiamat as it is and looking to build that Spear Visage as his first big item. Shen actually matched with a Tiamat of his own, and he's going to be looking to build a Titanic Hydra out of that.
Seems like RH still looking for an opportunity to roam.
They need to be careful, no vision.
Yeah, okay, the Thread Volley does let them know that Fortius is waiting in the wings. Actually doing a lot of damage with the Thunderlords with just a Sorcerer's Shoes and 2 AP items.
Yeah, that's the power of the Talia right there. And let's see what KLH does. They do seem to have the tempo in their favor right now. They are the ones looking for
they are dictating how the game is played. Lots of tempo in their favor. We're going to see if they can get some value out of this later as soon as their big cooldowns. Their big cooldowns are actually up. Everyone is poised for a team fight if they want to, because Infernal Drake is something very important.
Yeah, Infernal Drake is about to spawn, and this is really good timing by Kuala Lumpur Hunters. They will be able to take the bottom turret as well. That is the first turret as well. So pretty good, and if we were to force a team fight, I feel like KLH would definitely be on top. They still have the early game damage from that Lee Sin. He hurts quite a bit. Meanwhile, we do see that Jarvan has picked up the momentum. He is starting to do a lot of damage as well, and the Caitlyn still has the item advantage over this bottom lane as Chopper. Still no Blade of the Rune King.
Yeah, he might have it once he recalls. It seems like they're going to transition this into mid lane. They want to take this turret that is below half health.
Yeah, this is a pretty sketchy tower dive or turret take, as they do have a lot of wave clear and a lot of ways to punish you attempting to siege.
The fight does happen. Shiro has a teleport advantage, but Square has his stand united. So they have to mind that and respect the power of the shield and the incoming taunt that could happen.
Yeah, but in the meanwhile, it looks like the KLH team has been forced to recall a bit, as they didn't have any vision on that Lulu. So
as well as Fortius not taking a small opportunity for an Infernal Drake there. They do not have the vision to spot out that they did have the opportunity. They could clear it pretty fast with Beyond and Meowcon together with Chopper.
Yeah, they're still looking for this Baron fight. A lot of wards should be going down around this area. Teleport still available. Actually, Shen no teleport, but he does have that stand united.
And here comes the bipolar. Instantly bursts it down. The Wild Growth is not going to help him out. Are they going to transition this pick into any objective? There are pings coming onto Infernal Drake. Just has to push that wave in, I guess, before taking it.
And this could be the dragon attempt for Fortius right now. They don't have the Lulu to peel a bit. So it looks like
if Caspiel goes in, no one is going to save him if he gets caught out in CC. It gets to be Rockman's on the Dragon Sorcerer skin as well.
And looks like the Weaver Wall won't be able to do much, as that will be a free dragon coming in for 4.
They did pull it out of the pit smartly, so they wouldn't get really trapped in there.
But it's KLH now looking to take this mid lane turret. They should be able to do so.
Yokon waiting in the wings. Caspiel knows he's there. Seems like they want maybe fight, and that is a turret. They're just like a sliver of health remaining.
Yeah, that's just like 1 HP left. Any auto attack should do the trick, but FTS doing a pretty good job of holding them off.
Might be dangerous if they overcommit defending this though, because that is Caitlyn. CO4 does have the auto attack range to just take it, and after that, that would transition to say an engage come from Caspiel or Shiro.
Yeah,
and really the minions
it looks
as
like the
well
turret
take
will
it away.
fall. Yeah.
It's gonna be Myokon rotating against Caspiel here. That's a lot of damage from him. Kicked away. The Dragon's Rage saves Caspiel from any further damage.
Yeah, but it still looks like it's Caspiel with the slight advantage does have the kill over Myokon at the moment. If we take a look at overall gold lead, it's still in favor of Kuala Lumpur Hunters. They do have the turret advantage 2-0, and that's a 2,000 gold lead, 3,000 gold lead in their favor.
Plus I think the gold value though is in for the Dragons is in favor of 40s with Infernal Drake. Actually, let's say that the value for that is around 800, 1,000 gold. But that's going to be, the gap is going to be even bigger after Kuala Lumpur Hunters gets another turret. It's going to be a team fight here. Shiro caught out, has to be Wild Growth, but that is not enough to save him. Now, Kuala Lumpur Hunters on the run. Seems like 40s is still respecting their power, not opting to dive in way too deeply. They are satisfied with that 1 kill on Shiro. Myokon might be in danger though. That Dragon's Rage is not available. That's Bipolar trying to get into the burst, but everyone is just committing onto this fight. Arhedge taken out. That's going to ignite, putting him down beyond. Gets a petrifying gaze onto CO4. A sniper caught in melee is not a very happy sniper. Yeah. It's going to be 3-0 in favor of Fortius.
And that was way too greedy coming in from Kuala Lumpur Hunters. We saw the support actually decide to flash in and try to pick up the
get
kill.
The Thunderlord's kill.
Just
fails.
Yeah, they should have just backed off immediately. They already got their turret. They didn't need to go for more. Instead, what ended up happening was they lost 2 more kills on that. And let's see exactly what caused Shiro to die. He tried to go for the initial pick. We saw Arj actually away, but bad positioning. Got that really nice Zyra ultimate and Cassiopeia.
Stranglethorns is really strangling in that choke point like that.
You don't want to fight in those areas right there.
And they do try, because after that, Caspiel tried to go for a further engage when he landed the Sonic Wave onto Myokon. Got baited. It's going to be Shiro continuing the split push down bot.
Yeah, and with this, it looks like Fortius has regained their footing by quite a bit. They are looking to make the aggressive plays right now, setting up for this mid lane turret. They haven't gotten a single turret yet, so that's definitely on their list of things to do right now.
They do have an opportunity to take it. They have 280 carries. If they get some alone time after a good team fight with this turrets, it's going to fall down pretty quickly.
Yeah, and the Baron is also up as well, so a bit too early actually for both teams to start playing around the Baron, given that there's so many turrets left on the map. And here comes the potential collapse. Shiro does need to be careful, but he will be fine as.
But if ever that Fortius does get that opportunity for a Baron later in the game, it's going to be 3 DPS, and it's going to be Myokon trying to go for just a little bit of pressure.
They
makes his presence known.
Have the Baron advantage coming in from the Fortius side.
It's 280 carries plus the
Cassiopeia.
Twin Fangs from Cassiopeia.
That does a lot of damage.
Yeah. So it's going to be... so Kuala Lumpur Hunters has to be really careful getting into the late 20s, early 30 minutes of the game to not give away an opportunity for Baron, because they can shred it very, very fast.
And looking back at that, here comes the Weaver's
wall. Chopper has his flash though, so even if there was an engage, would have been safe.
A bit sketchy to overcommit to that turret right now, and KLH just backing off.
Backing off with Caspiel, still trying to take resources as they retreat. It's still going to be Arhedge staying around. Lots of pings on the top lane to try and assist. It's going to be a pause, but let's talk. That gives us a bit of time to talk about the state of the game right now. It's a 2K gold lead for Kuala Lumpur Hunters, but it's still anyone's game.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if we take a look at the items, it doesn't matter how much gold you have if you don't.
It's all about the
if you don't have the item. Really, it's really the being able to purchase those big items is what matters. And if you take a look at the items, we'll see that Indonesia actually is pretty even when it comes to itemization. So the 2K gold lead is pretty negligible at this moment, and we can just see it right now.
They are quite even on in terms of an itemization. They have the Infernal Drake.
Yeah.
So once they actually get into a skirmish, into a fight, they have a slight advantage because of the even itemization. There's got to be Caspiel burning the Ghost of Beyond. He's still trying to go for it. It's going to be, Zanyas to deny the Dragon Straight. Now he is surrounded by everyone. Gets Polymorph shut down by R-Hedge. Quite of a waste of a Stand United because that was way too forlorn. Because that was already Beyond, surrounded by 4 members. Hungry pack of Kuala Lumpur Hunters.
And I mean, with this, it's Kuala Lumpur Hunters free to take whatever they want. They could rotate towards this bottom lane. A lot of defense coming into this mid lane, but here it comes.
Well, it's going to be R-Hedge. A little bit of trouble. Wild Growth does not save him from the collateral damage. Shiro teleports in to be knocked up by the Stranglethorns. Now, Kuala Lumpur Hunters on the defensive after R-Hedge getting caught out.
I'm actually really curious as to why Shiro decided to, I mean, how R-Hedge got caught out initially. I can't really think of that many ways. Maybe he did got hit by the Grasping Roots coming from Zaya. That is a possibility.
Would be the most plausible reason for that, because Petrifying Gaze is still on cooldown.
And I believe the Chain of Corruption was on cooldown as well.
Yep. So definitely going to be caught out by such basic
He did have that cleanse available, so
he did
was an option.
It was an option, but seems like they did not opt for that. That's going to be Fortius trying to go for that Ocean Drake. They do have the control over this. Caspiel is nearby. If they do take this, though, it's going to be steamy for Fortius, having a Fire and Water Dragon under their belt. No contest, no contest. Yeah, it's going to be regeneration for Fortius.
Free Dragon coming from Fortius, and now they're looking to make the next play. They still haven't gotten a turret yet, haven't really had the opportunity to push up on the map. Jarvan's been doing a good job of keeping the Shen split push in check. So,
and actually, look at the itemization from Shiro. He has a Knight's Vow.
Yeah, so I guess they're looking to really
bank
focus
everything on CO4.
Yeah, CO4, just trying to keep him as healthy as possible, keep him protected once they transition into the late game where it's all on CO4 to just deal the damage.
That does mean that his split push is a bit weaker, but when you consider it, when you min-max it, considering Square can just go in and out of a lane, maybe it would be better for Shiro to stick around with a team when he's not split, even when he has a teleport up, considering the nice bow. Oh, Caspiel trying to go for a little bit of aggressive warding there. Almost gets caught out by the Grasping Roots.
Yeah, now they're starting to
dance around the Baron buff.
Dance. A bit too early for that, to be honest.
And Shiro being, it's going to be Yonkon and flanked by Shiro. There's no one to help Kuala Lumpur Hunter Shiro right now. But that's going to be 2 members against 4 if they go for it. Squares in the middle of everyone. Yonkon not hitting any spells just yet. Shiro is going to jump in. Corrupting Chains will be on him. Bipolar taking a lot of damage, but Caspiel able to weave in and out of the fight. Wow, the seismic shove into the threaded volley. Gets actually 3 kills for Kuala Lumpur Hunters.
Yeah, that's a 3-4-0 trade, and it's Kuala Lumpur Hunters looking to take that mid lane turret, actually rotating towards this Baron.
Look at the Baron.
That's probably a lot more safer in my opinion, seeing as they do have a lot of wave clear from this Baron.
Oh, it looks like the Nice Bow is actually on Caspiel. Really centering around that jungle. Just so much trust in him to go in with the Edge of Night, block that first spell or probably crowd control, flash in with a kick. Lots of damage, and keeping him alive with that Nice Bow as well.
Yeah,
I really like that adaptation coming from Shiro, just centering everything on Caspiel.
Yeah,
here.
Definitely paid out in the end, as that's going to be a 6K gold advantage in favor of the Kuala Lumpur Hunters, with 5 members of their players having that Baron buff. Let's take a look at exactly what happened. We did see the Weaver's Wall zoned out Beyond and Rolfens, and it was an interesting taunt from Square. I don't know why he decided to go in. The rest of the team was extremely far, and yeah, that Weaver's Wall just zoned out Chopper and Rolfens from doing anything. Rolfens was actually had to flash in to do something during that fight. And a bit of a miscommunication for sure coming in. I don't think Graves and Shen should have committed so hard to that fight.
That was going to be a 2v4. Beyond also late to the party. It's going to be Shiro. Might be caught out by 2 members. The Miasma is down. He just goes over the wall. No problem. The redemption is burned for Kuala Lumpur Hunters, but it seems like they might want to continue pushing this bot lane. They do have a lot of their big cooldown, big spells up, except for the Ace in the Hole.
And interesting lane allocations right now. We do see that the Talia is actually in the top lane, being the one to check the Shen.
I think it's because Square has no magic resistance.
That
while he has the Leandries, has the Abyssal Scepter, lots of damage.
And I guess Arhedge could also just use the Weaver's Wall to come
like
to
a pseudo
any
teleport.
needed fights. Yeah.
Pseudo teleport. It could be even two in one if he gets to the fight very quickly with Weaver's Wall and splits Team 40 apart. So that's going to be the versatility of that Weaver's Wall available for Arhedge split pushing.
Yeah, and that's going to be the 1-1-3 push coming in from Kowloon for Hunters. So they will be sending Lee Sin in the mid lane, Talia at the top lane, while the other 3 members are
and Shiro as
the bottom.
And Shiro, because you're not tethered to just, you're not required to just have that Knight's Vow on one champion for the entirety of the game.
Constantly move it around.
Yeah. So if you have that Knight's Vow with CO4 when he's pushing down the bot lane, that's the versatility of that item right there, being able to keep your important players alive. And for this configuration, it's going to be CO4.
Yeah. I'm curious to see how Fortius decides to respond to this split push. They do have the Baron buffs up. I wouldn't be surprised if all of those turrets just fall. If Kowloon for Hunters, if Kowloon for Hunters plays that push correctly and capitalizes that Baron buff, then that should be a pretty easy turret take for them.
I guess Fortius should be thankful that there was no Mountain Drake in this game just yet, just the 3 other elements. Because if that Mountain Drake was taken by Kowloon for Hunters and they have this 1-1-3 configuration, they're going to have a bad time.
Yeah, for sure.
So considering the state of the game before we paused, what could have, if we're wondering what Fortius can do to face the
I still think they're in it. They just need to get the really solid 5v5 team fight.
Their composition is made for that, but not when Myeongkong gets caught out in one shot by KSPL, 100-0 in a span of like 2 seconds. And this actually gives up a lot of damage on the turret, taking that second-tier turret.
I mean, that was a really clean pick coming in from KSPL right there.
Lethality Lee Sin here with a Warrior's Edge of Night, and then building that into Youmuu's Ghostblade. He is looking to one-shot the other team. Just ignore Square and go straight for Chopper, Beyond, or Myeongkong.
And just like we were saying, all inner turrets actually fall to the Kowloon for Hunters, so this will be almost a 10,000 gold lead in their favor. And they're still pushing, they're still going at it.
Expand their gold lead farther. The Nemasian standard actually helping a lot with attack speed buff for CO4, and Arhedge might be in trouble here. He does detect Beyond. So definitely this is going to be KSPL as well. So much damage. Not even a Dragon's Rage just yet. It's actually all that aggro pulling onto Arhedge gives some time for the bot lane CO4 to take this inhibitor down.
Yeah, and that's KSPL doing a lot of work right now. They will be able to take the inhibitor as well. And will they decide to back off, or will they continue to look for more? Looks like they might rotate towards this middle lane. It's
so dangerous here, the 1-1-3 configuration. If you invest a lot of members down there for the 3 members, that's still 2 other members with a Baron buff, with lots of wave clear, and KSPL with a lot of damage. So it's going to be 1 turret, 2 turrets. It's going to be Arhedge. The taunt, the Shadow Dash does not hit even with a flash. That actually gives a lot of time for CO4 to keep pushing this down. They have to transition out. Shiro almost getting caught by the creeping tentacles of that corrupting chains.
Yeah, and we do see the Weaver's Wall being dropped by Arhedge. Looking
even knocks up Shiro a little bit.
Interesting
CC
Weaver's
his
Wall.
own teammate. But that is still going to be that's actually huge if they don't have Weaver's Wall available for the next few minutes, because that means they won't be able to just lock out everyone from the tower and then have some alone time with it together with CO4 and KSPL just demolishing these turrets.
Yeah, but it looks like they're free to just reset a bit. Dragon is going to spawn in the next 10 seconds, so...
Which is going to actually be a little bit useful for Kowloon for Hunters with that Ocean Drake. Being able to... because they do have a 1-1-3 configuration, there might be lots of downtime for Kowloon for Hunters not being in combat. It's going to be Beyond being one-shot by KSPL, that lethality really doing a lot of work here. It seems like after the Edge of Night, after the Youmuu's, he will be going for the Duskblade. It seems like with a BF Sword.
BF Sword Lee Sin. That's how you know you're ahead.
Yeah, dude. And it's going to be 11k gold lead for that, and that actually translates to a lot of items. Shiro has a GA as well to just be completely unkillable. And then transitioning that into Titanic Hydra for even more. That's going to be the collateral damage missing. Lots of damage onto Arhedge though, but what does that mean for the mid lane? It seems like they're still looking for this turret that is just going to stop working. It's going to be Shiro instantly going in, Flash Cataclysm to just scare them away from this inhibitor.
Yeah, I mean, you see that this inhibitor should fall unless 40
decides
to do something.
Chopper. Square also getting caught out by the threaded volley. Lots of damage onto them. Nyakon is dangerous business here, trying to flank. That's the inhibitor down. Caspiel doing lots of damage, gets taken down. That's going to be beyond taking down Caspiel. Finally, Arhedge still in this fight. The CO4, man, he's just going for the Weaver's Wall, blocks them off from their fountain, but the poison does get them. Arhedge almost, okay, actually takes out Beyond. And looking at the state of the game right now, this third inhibitor might be the third nail on Fortius's coffin. If they are unable to push them away, Shiro does have the GA, so he can go for a kamikaze play if he wants to.
And Caspiel just went in. He didn't care about what happened to his life.
He's basically a grenade right now for Kuala Lumpur Hunters. And very mobile.
That was a lot of damage. You actually picked up the Dusk Blade with that BF sword now, so that's going to be a lot more damage coming in.
Lethality. And that is Caspiel being very lethal in this game. He's just a martial arts bomb for Kuala Lumpur Hunters here. He can one-shot Beyond, one-shot Myokon, one-shot Chopper. If needed, even raw fans. So it's going to be very hard, and he will be no slouch when it comes to finishing out this game, because that's 3 super minion waves. And imagine that with Baron buff coming up in less than a minute. It's going to be uncontested, probably.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really difficult for Fortius to get back into the game. That's a 12,000 gold lead in favor of the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. They're going to pick up the Dragon. Yeah, so they do have the next Ocean Drake available.
Dragon as well.
And Baron, like you said earlier, up in 30 seconds. So they're going to be looking to take that as well.
Yeah, it's so hard for Fortius. I mean, nigh impossible for Fortius to rubber band from this, because their territory becomes so small. They get naturally pushed in by these super minions. So that means Caspiel can just keep taking away resources, their camps, plus the life bars of Square. Oh, if he wants to follow up on that Sonic Strike, on that Resonating Strike onto Chopper, it seems like he will not offer that. Still looking for some way to kill Chopper here, one-shot him, because there is no protection coming from Fortius aside from the Stand United. That's going to be Caspiel again trying to make that aggressive play, does not find his mark, but that gives a lot of time for the Baron to be taken. And he does survive because of the wild growth.
Caspiel isn't even there to help out with this Baron buff, so no smite there. And it shouldn't be a problem, as that Baron is going to fall right about now.
There's no way for a smite contest there. Caspiel, very low in health, but that's a lot of shields coming from his team.
And I mean, with the Baron buff, it's practically game at this point.
It's definitely likely going to be game. I think even if they get like some miraculous ace from Fortius.
Yeah, you need like the 5-man petrifying gaze or something.
5-man petrifying gaze into like corrupting chains.
Into the Zyra.
Spreading into everyone with the Stranglethorn. But now it seems like it's just delaying the inevitable. Fortius fighting back. They're not losing this without a fight, they say.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot on the line. You're going to be playing till the very end if you're in this position right now.
Imagine this. It's going to be so hard. If Fortius wins this,
they need to do another one,
They need to do another one. So there's going to be the stress and fatigue from that. It seems like Kuala Lumpur Hunters just taking it in stride and then blocking out everyone from the inhibitor. They might want to go in soon as Caspiel with a Sonic Wave who actually gets a safeguard away into a ward. Gets chunked down, but still Shiro gonna go in with a Dragon Strike, Damascene Standard. He might go for a 3-man Cataclysm here. Lots of damage. That's a triple kill for Arhedge. These two are just manipulating the terrain and taking everyone out. Even the tanky Square gets taken down by the ace in the hole, and that is the ace in the hole for Kuala Lumpur Hunters, securing second seed. For the semifinals coming into our GPL Spring 2017. Bipolar having a little bit of fun here. CO4 as well with a fountain.
Yeah, and I mean, very well played both teams. Fortius, they gave it their all till the very end, and it looks like it wasn't enough, as it's going to be the Kuala Lumpur Hunters making their way to the second seed, and they will be facing off against the Gigabyte Marines tomorrow in the playoffs.
And it's going to be Mineski facing off against Thailand's Ascension for the semifinals tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of games. It's really a long day tomorrow.
Yeah. 2 best of 5s. I mean, lots of excitement.
It could potentially go to 10 games, so just stay tuned for that. It's going to start actually much earlier.
I believe so, yeah.
Start waiting around at 11 a.m. The stream will start around lunchtime. You can eat your food. You can have some banh mi or some other Southeast Asian food while you're watching. Of course, we have been your shoutcasters for this last game of the group stages. I am Atlas. With me is my buddy Neep. And we'd like to thank all of you for watching this, the fans from Southeast Asia, Philippines, all the other participating countries, and of course our major sponsors, Plantronics, PLDT, and Corion. And we can see here the best of 5 matchups for the knockout stage. Ascension from Thailand facing up against Mineski from the Philippines. It's going to be Gigabyte Marines from Vietnam facing up against Kuala Lumpur Hunters from Malaysia. It's going to be very explosive, very exciting.
I'm really looking forward to seeing these Thai and the Vietnamese team play, as they've usually been the favorites for the tournaments whenever the GPL comes around.
All the players are like saying Vietnam would be the boss.
I feel like the gap might have been closing, as the Philippines, they look pretty clean at certain points of time during the past few days. Same thing with the Kuala Lumpur Hunters. So
yes,
who knows? It could be anyone's game.
Solid. But we have yet to see the performance of Vietnam and Thailand because they are waiting for the knockout stage. We're going to see their power levels tomorrow. So just stay tuned for that. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Volley doesn't finish off square. That's going to be Caspiel. Too far away for the resonating strike, but gets the first blood. Arhedge gets the first blood. Also gets a double kill against Myeongkon. Yes, coming from beyond. The poison is not enough to finish him off. Caspiel looking for it. The Sonic Wave misses. Now he's under fire of Myeongkon. Whoa, okay. So the collateral damage actually takes out Arhedge and the poison. FTS is the one who is caught off guard. There's going to be a lot of bursts coming from Caspiel and Shiro. CO4 keeps re-hitting with that sniper rifle. Bipolar in a little bit of a trouble. CO4 has to net away. It's going to be a team fight here. Shiro caught out. Has to be Wild Growth, but that is not enough to save him. If they go for it, squares in the middle of everyone. Myeongkon not hitting any spells just yet. Shiro is going to jump in. Corrupting Chains will be on him. Bipolar taking a lot of damage, with Caspiel able to weave in and out of the fight. Wow, the seismic shove into the threaded volley. Against this dangerous business here, trying to flank. That's going to inhibit down. Caspiel doing lots of damage, gets taken down. That's going to be beyond taking down Caspiel. Finally, Arhedge is still in this fight. The CO4, man, he's just going for the Weaver's Wall, blocks them off from their founder, but the poison does get them. Arhedge almost, okay. Sonic Wave actually gets a safeguard away into a ward. Gets chunked down, but still Shiro gonna go in with a Dragon Strike, Damascus Standard. He might go for a 3-man Cataclysm here. Lots of damage. Huge. That's a triple kill for Arhedge. These two are just manipulating the terrain and taking everyone out. Even the tanky square gets taken down by the ace in the hole, and that is the ace in the hole for Kuala Lumpur Hunters, securing second seed. For the semifinals coming into our GPL Spring 2017. Bipolar having a little bit of fun here. CO4 as well with a fountain.
Yeah, and I mean, very well played both teams. 40th, they gave it their all.